So have you ever played a 3D Mario game? Okay, you have, good. As you're aware, Mario has a wide and varied moveset that allows him to move fluidly and precisely. That's why people love those games. Well, Hat Kid's movement is, in a way, better and worse than 3D Mario, so let's really analyze the movement. Also, I got a review copy of this game, so thank you to Gears for Breakfast for sending me one. I appreciate it. I know this isn't like a full game review or anything, but this is what I had in mind for a video, so yeah, let's get started. So we're not really going to talk about normal walking or running, because all the games we'll be covering do this perfectly fine. Instead, let's start with wall jumping. In Mario 64, wall jumping kinda sucks. You have to perfectly press the jump button to wall jump, and messing it up causes Mario to bonk off the wall, which could hurt him badly or even kill him. Thankfully, you can control the direction and your distance after wall jumping, but it still takes practice to get the timing down. There's actually two types of wall jumps depending on your timing of the button press, and they both factor in the maneuverability after completing a wall jump, and it's not easy to control which of the two types of wall jumps you'll pull off. This whole huge problem is fixed in the later Mario titles. You can slide down the wall and jump whenever you want to. A Hat in Time manages to improve this a bit more. When Hat Kid runs towards a wall, she'll slide up a little bit and you can jump off the wall at any time. Now you don't like climb up like Knuckles does, but instead get this little upwards boost. This allows you to correct any jumps you may have miscalculated because you have a much wider range of movement after wall jumping. You can move around in a much farther and quicker manner than the Mario titles, making it easier to land on platforms you're trying to climb. Mario Galaxy is similar in this regard because of your spin jump, but you can't slide up walls in that game. Here's the line of thought. If you're strong enough to jump off a wall into the air, you're also strong enough to use your own momentum to carry yourself up the wall a bit. It only makes logical sense, so A Hat in Time gets points for that, even though I'm not keeping a tally. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Moving on, Hat Kid has this dash attack, which, as the name implies, lets you dash forward. What I like about the dashing is you can use it consistently if you roll in between dashes, letting you briskly move forward. If you dash the full distance and roll at just the right time, you'll get a little mini boost, which is great if you're trying to travel far distances. However, it doesn't feel quite as precise as, say, diving with Mario. That's because the dash shoots you forward at a pace faster than you normally move, which is great, but it kind of feels disorienting at some times. What is nice though is that you can control the distance of your dash by simply canceling it out whenever you want to. In Mario 64 and Sunshine, diving lets you move a little bit faster, but you can more easily control your speed. So let's say you need to make a really big jump. Just gather some speed and dive into the air to get a tad more distance with it. Or if you just want to slide through an enemy, you can perform a quick dive and get back up right away. The diving just feels more natural than the dashing. At least for me it does. But I will say, Hat Kid's umbrella swipe is way better than Mario's puny little punches. Like, come on dude, what are you doing, swatting a fly? Mario Galaxy's spin jump works well too, but Hat Kid's umbrella has a lot of range, it's fast, and feels satisfying when you hit things. And that's really the only main attack she needs. Sure, there's the brewery hat which throws explosives, but this is primarily a collectathon game, not a beat 'em up, so there's not that high of an emphasis on hitting things. Mario Galaxy and Sunshine understand this too, seeing as their main offensive moves include the Flood Pack and Spin Jump respectively. Mario 64 on the other hand has all this crap that you're never gonna use. Like, why does Mario have a 3-combo attack with punches and kicks? Or what about this slide kick? I mean, it's cool that the moves exist, they do kind of have uses, but all you'll ever really do in that game is jump on things, pick up things, or dive into things. And sometimes ground pound on things, but you get my point. A great mechanic in A Hat in Time is when you're running towards a wall, Hat Kid won't bonk and fall flat on her face. That is if you have the correct badge selected. She'll either grab a ledge or use momentum to pick herself up and keep going. This is the tiny element that most people don't seem to notice, but it keeps the game moving at a smooth pace. Now go back and play Mario 64 or Sunshine, and you'll now be annoyed that that doesn't happen. Yeah, you can grab ledges and climb up them, but you can't run up a wall like we talked about earlier. And plus, you lose all your speed when you grab a ledge anyway, but in A Hat in Time, you barely lose any speed at all. Mario Galaxy kind of fixes this problem. If you miss a platform, you usually get the option to wall jump and follow it up with a spin jump to save yourself, and that works fine and all, but the concept itself works better and more efficiently in A Hat in Time. Another great feature is Hat Kid's double jump. Yes, this may sound like the most pointless thing to break down into a topic, but hear me out, okay? As someone that's played a lot of Mario and knows that A Hat in Time is clearly inspired inspired by it, and even a little bit of Banjo-Kazooie, you'll notice Mario doesn't have the same type of double jump. You'll jump once and have to time your button press as he hits the ground again to rise in the air. This feels good in Mario games because it rewards the player for building speed, but garnering that speed itself can also be a problem if you don't have a lot of ground to work with. That's why everyone hates Tick-Tock Clock. You're forced to constantly move higher and higher up, but a lot of the jumps require you to double or triple jump, which doesn't work well because the platforms are tiny and sometimes they're even moving. In A Hat in Time though, you just double jump in the air. Imagine how much easier Tick-Tock Clock would be if you could double jump in the air. It basically substitutes two key features that makes the more modern Mario platformers work so well. In Mario Sunshine, you have the Flood Pack, which has the hover nozzle, and that allows you to correct your jump or travel a farther/higher distance. In Mario Galaxy, you have the spin jump like we've been talking about, which, kills enemies, but it also lets you correct your jump. And even to an extent, this same principle applies to Mario 64. Jump kicking in the air can position you in better angles for moving forward. The double jump in A Hat of Time applies the exact same ideas we've been talking about, but takes much less time to execute. I'm aware other platformers have double jumps like Hat Kid, but I'm only comparing this to other Mario games, so just take a chill pill, okay? And I guess that's really all I have to say. Really, the biggest downside to A Hat in Time's movement is that there aren't more moves. I do wish Hat Kid had some sort of long jump and maybe a side flip, but it still plays beautifully regardless. But yeah, I know this wasn't really a review, I just kind of wanted to talk about the gameplay mechanics. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video though. And if you want my opinion on if you should pick up the game or not, well, I would definitely get it if you're a huge fan of 3D platformers, especially if you're having trouble finding a Nintendo Switch or won't be able to play Mario Odyssey right away. So guys, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments what your favorite 3D platformer is and if you're gonna pick this game up. Or maybe you have picked it up. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.